Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I feel like the Truman Show, wherever you are in the world. Um, yeah, having a good whatever you're having. Okay, I need more coffee. I'm not quite with it this morning. So, I wanted to talk to you today about how you bring your dreams to life. And I know myself, and I bet I know that you get like a lot of ideas, inspiration, things that you would like to do in the world, unless you've gotten to a point where you have stopped doing that because you have given up on yourself because you don't follow through. So if you get an inspiration, how do you make it real world? How do you manifest it into the world? And some people would give you a very easy answer in that you just do the work that it takes. And that's true on one step. But most of the time, the reason that we don't take action is we get scared that we don't know what to do, or it seems like a really, really big challenge. Like say you've never written a book and you want to write a book and you're just like, I don't know where to start, where to go. I've had so many people tell me, I have wonderful ideas for books. And I'm like, great, write one. And they're like, oh no, I can't do that because I don't know how to X, Y, Z. And guess what? You don't need to know how to do anything. I mean, you will learn, right? But you learn by doing. So for you to bring out that thing that you want to create in the world, there's 2 steps, just 2, right? And you're like, no, I know there's 500. And over the course of time, there may be 500, but every day there's just 2. And the thing is, you just need to do those 2 steps every single day until it's real, until it's manifest. So you've created whatever it is you're creating. I'm just using a book as an example. So, what you start out doing is the 2 things are very simple. It's what I teach about in the Daily Alchemy Lab and what we experiment with. One of them is you take metaphysical action, and 2 is you take physical action, right? Because when you take metaphysical action first, it helps you align to the energy. And metaphysical action is stepping into the energy of being the person who has already done what you want to do. You know, and it sounds very woo-woo and meta, and that's, I mean, it is, but if you look, all these powerful people in the world who've created things, that's what they did. You imagine everything before it happens. And so that's just really using your imagination for good, right? Looking at yourself, feeling yourself, and saying, okay, I am a book author, and how do I move and go through the world as a person who is an author? And so, or whatever it is you want to be, a business owner, a person who's in a wonderful marriage or relationship, or whatever it is that you want to create. See yourself as already being the person that has it, and step into that energy. And I like to ask myself the question, like just as I'm going through my day, how does a person who already has ... walk through the world, right? So if I wanted to be a successful author, I would just ask myself, oh, like how does a successful author walk her dogs? You know, how does she do that? What energy does she bring to it? And then I bring that energy to it. What does she have for lunch? So as you go through your day, you can remind yourself to just keep stepping back into that energy. Now, there's a lot of other things that you can do to get into that energy, but that's a really, really easy one. I teach a lot of different techniques because everybody has things that click for them and work better for them to step into that energy. In the Daily Alchemy Premium Members Lab, but this is just a really, really simple one that you can do, is just deciding that energy of who you're going to be and stepping into it and reminding yourself as you go through your day to step into it. And so you may say, I don't know where I went with that. Anyway, rewind just a minute. The reason I ask you to step into the energy of being that person who already has it is it's easier to step into the energy of being the person who has something than it is to like just like visualize having it, because then you're coming into that energy right now of the qualities that that person has. And it's like easier for our brain to wrap our mind around just being the kind of person who has that than it is to wrapping our mind around already having it. And a lot of times when you think too strongly about having it, you get into resistance and worry and how am I going to get it? So instead of focusing on how you're going to create it, just focus on being the person who already has it, right? But I did tell you, if you've been here all along, if you haven't, go back and listen, but there are 2 steps, right? That's the metaphysical action. Then you have to take physical action, because that's what we are, physical beings in a, well, or spiritual beings in a physical body, but we're in a physical world and we have to take that physical action to cement it, right? So it doesn't mean that you have to take, well, sometimes massive action is called for, but like on a daily basis, once you've stepped into that energy and you're like being the person who has this thing, then you ask yourself, what's the next step? And kind of tune in. So like if you're deciding to write a book, it's a brand new idea, the next step might be to outline the book, or to come up with some ideas, or it might be to do some research on who might want to purchase the book, because there's differences in fiction and nonfiction and all that stuff. So you don't have to know the end game. You just do that, what's the next step? And then you just keep repeating that every single day, right? Get up, get into the energy of being the person who has what you want. Oh, there's an airplane going overhead. And then taking that action, whatever that next step is. And I don't know, there's a quote, I almost feel like it's Martin Luther King Jr. is like, you don't have to know like all the steps along the stairway to, or what's at the top of the staircase, how to get to the top of the staircase to take the next step. And I think so many of us, like, we just get into that overwhelm because we have big dreams, right? And I believe that if you've been given a big dream, then that's been sent to you by the divine, and it's there for a reason, and you're meant to have it. Okay, unless it's like a weird dream and you want somebody else's husband or wife and stuff, and I don't, I think then you're probably meant to have a version of it. You may want a relationship similar to what they have, but you're meant to have your dreams. And so that's why you just want to take these actions towards them, and not get stuck in the overwhelm, because everybody who creates something new, we don't know how to get to the end. And here's the funny thing, when you take those little actions, a lot of times they're going to change you and make you into a different person along the way, and that's going to change your perception. And so when you take one step, it helps you to see the next step. Like if you're back here and you want to see the whole process, you're not that person yet who knows the whole process. So that's why every single day you want to step into that energy of being the person who has what you want, and then taking that next action, just asking yourself what is the next step to get what I want. And I know it sounds really easy, and it's one of those things where they say it's really simple, but it's not really easy. And that's because you have to have discipline, you have to have steadfastness. And that's something that a lot of times people in the law of attraction, they're like, oh, that didn't work for me. Manifesting didn't work for me. This spiritual growth stuff didn't work for me because I did a meditation and I didn't get what I wanted. That's because you have to do it every single day. Just like, brushing your teeth, washing your face, refueling your body. You have to do this stuff every single day. And if you don't, it gets gunked up and backed up. Like if you don't take a shower for a week, you're gonna feel funky. Well, if you don't get up and spend at least 5-10 minutes a day recentering yourself, deciding the energy that you're going to carry and being that person and taking that action, then yeah, it's not going to work for you. And it's not because it didn't work. It's because you didn't do it. You can't just do it once and think, oh yeah, I got this, right? You have to do it every single day, and you have to do both parts, right? I know that a lot of times some people think, I don't believe in the metaphysical part, and they can work hard and push really hard in the physical world without having that action lined up and still get results, but it doesn't usually feel good because they worked so hard at it, right? But on the other hand, a lot of times there are people who will do the metaphysical part. They'll do the meditation, they'll do the visualization, they'll step into that energy, and that energy will say, hey, go ask that girl out, or call this person and see about their services for editing your book, or go on a live stream. And you'll go, I don't know, that feels really scary, and then you stop. If you're going to shift your energy from being where you are now to being the person who has what you want to have, yes, you can do that metaphysically, but then you have to keep taking that physical action that shifts and changes who you are. It's like both parts are very, very necessary to make that shift. And you know, you have to do that thing that your higher self tells you to do. And a lot of times that thing is scary and it's out of your comfort zone, and the reason is because you're not that person yet. But when you take that step and you keep taking it and you keep taking it, it gets easier and easier. Sad to say that when you do that, there'll always be new levels. It seems to be what the human condition is about, right? That we grow and we grow and we grow, and then sometimes we get like a resting plateau, and then we get a new idea of something we want to create in the world, and so then we get to grow and grow and grow more. It's like, I believe that the universe wants to expand, and we are vehicles of that, so we're always wanting to expand, and that's perfectly fine and perfectly human. But the thing that you want to do is to take those two actions every day. And also, if you get a thing and it tells you to do something, I've noticed this myself, like this is something like, ideas are given to people, and they're usually given to more than one person. If you noticed how like sometimes in the world, a lot of times there'll be like 2 movies that come out that are very similar around the same time, or books that are similar but different. And it's like, I think that more than one person usually taps into this energy source and gets the idea. And sometimes more than one person actually takes it to fruition. But sometimes you may see something, you're like, hey, that was my idea, but you didn't act on it, right? And that person did. So ideas are given to us, but if we don't act on them, then they lose their juice for us. You know, I know even myself, like sometimes I will get an idea for a blog post or a live stream topic, and I'll think I need to do that, and then I'm like, but I'm not going to do it right now. And then I just like, it kind of loses its energy for me, or sometimes I even forget what it was, and I'll say, well, it's not important, there's a new idea coming. But and that's true. That's true. Like if you find one idea and you didn't act on it, you'll get another idea if you've lost, you know, kind of lost the juiciness or the drive to do that one. But when you get one, there's a truth. I think the first person I heard say this was Joe Vitale. He's an amazing person. He's created lots and lots of books and lots of powerful programs online. But Joe Vitale said the universe loves speed. And I don't think he's the first one who said that, but I think he's the first one that I heard. And so when you get an idea, like that is the time to say, okay, I'm claiming this, I'm deciding this, I'm stepping into this energy now, metaphysically, I'm going to be that person who has it, and then I'm going to take an action. Because that action like then gives you more energy to take the next action that gives you more energy. But if you just sit there and you like get overwhelmed and think about all the actions you need to take, then you get stuck and you don't do it, and then the idea loses its juice for you. And I know this has happened to me, and if it's happened to you, what you want to do is not to beat yourself up for it. Even if you started on a project and then you realize you kind of let it slide because you got scared or you got overwhelmed, you didn't want to take that next step that your higher self was telling you, this is what you need to do. It's fine, but it is time to stand up and back yourself, right? To stand up and say, I have this idea. I know that I can bring it to fruition. I'm going to take these steps every single day. And then every single day you just get up and you step into that energy again, and then you ask yourself, you know, what do I do from this place? From the place of being the person who has this. And as you do it, you're going to change and grow, and you're going to be a different person. But at first, when you step into that energy, it's not going to feel like you. But when you go through the process, like if you're going to do publishing a book, by the time your book is published, you don't have to step into that energy anymore, right? You already are it. But that's why we keep practicing doing it every day. I'm a book author. What does this feel like? You know, walk through the world, do everything as an author of a book. And then once my book is published, I've practiced that so long that, yeah, it's natural, right? And then you'll probably get something new that you want to do, and then you'll step into the energy of doing that. So it's really, like I said, it's really simple, but it's not easy, because as humans, we want to get all tangled up in our stories and say, you know, it's too hard, or but this or but that, and like I'm too old, or I'm not good enough and stuff. And those are all lies. Those are all lies that we tell ourselves. And I think the main reason that we tell ourselves that is because we're scared of how powerful that we are. And we're scared of all, you know, we have little stories about what would happen if we actually did make our dreams come true, if we actually were in that perfect relationship, or we made this money, we had this business, we wrote this book. Like, it is kind of scary how much we can bring into the world. But it's even scarier to me when I think about getting to the end of my life and realizing that I didn't bring into the world the things that I wanted to bring into the world because I got scared. So I suggest taking a deep breath and, you know, feeling that fear if you need to. Sedona method is a great way to release that. There's a bunch of other great ones, and I'm going to actually put a link if I can do it. Let's see if I have this ability. I'm going to try to put a link into this live stream if it is here, that will send you to the Gold Life Lab and tell you a little bit about that. But in there are classes that will teach you lots and lots and lots of techniques for different ways to release your resistance, different ways to step into the energy of having what you want to have now. And yep, I did it, yay! And also there are free things there. The page that I sent you to is the one that tells you the members benefits and all the classes and stuff that you get when you are a member. And there is a really, really good deal going on right now for founding members. It is only $17 a month through September 9th, and then if you join, then you get to have all the benefits and that low price for as long as you're a member. But there are also free things there too. So if you're not ready to commit yet, there are some free classes, there are some free books, free planner sheets that are really great, like weekly planners and daily planners for focusing on what you want to manifest. So those are free for the taking. You don't even have to put in your email address to get them. Like if you go to this page link that I put in here and you click at the top where it says freebies, it will take you there and you can get those, and they will give you lots of ideas on how you can do those two things, metaphysical action and physical action, and bring your dreams to life. Because when you bring your dreams to life, we all benefit. Because I'm sure that whatever you're dreaming up is going to be beneficial to all of us. It's going to be good juju to the world. And also, I believe the more of us that make our dreams come true, the easier it is for everybody else. Another airplane. Just, like whenever the person, I think it's the 4-minute mile, they said it was impossible, and then once one person did it, more and more people do it. So remember that you're not being selfish by making your dreams come true. You're actually you're supporting other people, because your dreams bring good energy to the world. They raise the vibration, because when you feel good that you've made your dreams come true to life, that raises the vibration of the whole planet. It makes it easier for other people's dreams to come to life. And also pretty much anything that you're going to want to bring to life is going to be beneficial to other people. If you want to have a business, that's going to help and support other people. If you want to be in a great relationship, well, people in a great relationship, they're obviously making that other person in the relationship happy too. Plus, it's just nice to be around happy people, and when you do that, yeah, it's a blessing for more than just you. It's a blessing for everybody who is around you and your partner in the relationship. So think about that. Think about the fact that you bringing your dreams to life is going to benefit not just you, but everybody on the planet. So have a magical day. Step into that energy today of being who you want to be, and then just keep asking yourself, now that I am this person, what's my next action? Or how do I do this? Like, how do I walk through the store now that I am a published author? Because there's a different energy to that, right? And you can claim that energy now. All right, so go out and claim it. Have a magical day, and I will see you next time.